Hello Manchester United, welcome to Manchester United Daily Updates. Before continuing this video, click the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest news from Manchester United. Sporting Star has already spoken with Ruben Amorim about transfer to Manchester United. Manchester United's new manager Ruben Amorim may already have done some work to bring one of his former Sporting Lisbon star players with him to Old Trafford. The Portuguese tactician has just started at Man United following the recent sacking of Erik Ten Hag and a brief spell with Ruud van Nistelrooy in place as interim manager. Red Devils fans will be excited about what they hope will be the start of a more positive new era for the club, and it would certainly help Amorim succeed if he were able to work with some of the players he did such a good job with at Sporting. Man United legend nearing surprise new role. According to Sasha Tavolieri for Sky, Amorim has already had some talks with Sporting defender Ousmane Diomande about a possible move to Old Trafford, while Manchester City could also be in contention for the talented 20-year-old. Diomande looks like he could be a smart addition to this United squad, with Amorim doing well to get the best out of him in Lisbon, and it seems that has the Ivory Coast international leaning towards joining the red side of Manchester over the blue side. MUFC brought in new defenders during the summer as Matthijs de Ligt and Lenny Yoro both joined, but the latter has been injured, while the former hasn't looked entirely convincing so far. On top of that, United have both Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof nearing the ends of their contracts, so could do with more depth in that area of their squad. Diomande is still young and learning the game, but it could certainly be a good move from his perspective to continue playing under a manager who's done well with him so far. The United project as a whole, however, might be a bit risky as a host of big-name managers and big-name player signings have flopped in this post-Sir Alex Ferguson era. Erik Ten Hag spotted back in England as ex-Manchester United boss weighs up next move. Man United sacked Erik Ten Hag 3 weeks ago, and the Dutchman was spotted in Manchester on Monday, as his replacement at Old Trafford Ruben Amorim took his first training session. Erik Ten Hag was spotted back in Manchester on Monday. The former Manchester United manager dined in an Italian restaurant and cleared out possessions from a nearby home. Ten Hag oversaw the worst start to a Premier League campaign in United's history and was sacked following a controversial 2-1 defeat to West Ham at the London Stadium. The Dutchman's dismissal was confirmed on October 28 and he immediately returned to the Netherlands to spend time with his family. Ruud van Nistelrooy took over on an interim basis and United moved swiftly to appoint Ruben Amorim from Sporting Lisbon as Ten Hag's successor. Ten Hag was pictured in Halle exactly 3 weeks after his United departure. He dined in his regular haunt Piccolino and visited his residence to clear out his possessions. Ten Hag was joined by his wife Bianca and the couple left the restaurant as the Manchester snow began on Monday night. A few days after he was sacked, Ten Hag watched Heracles in the Eredivisie and he also made a return to Ajax to watch another game before the international break. United triggered the one-year extension in Ten Hag's contract in the summer after clinching glory in the FA Cup final, and he received a multi-million payout following his sacking. Although the 54-year-old's intentions after leaving United aren't clear, there is expected to be interest in Ten Hag from European clubs and he is expected to return to management. Ten Hag was spotted in Manchester on the same day as Amorim's first training session at Carrington. The 39-year-old was forced to wait until his visa was approved to coach on grass. He was allowed to hold meetings with staff, and took a session with 9 senior players. Amorim's first game in charge of United will come against Ipswich Town this weekend, and he must move United into the top half of the table, as they are currently 13th in the league. After Ten Hag's exit, the Dutchman wrote an emotional letter to United fans and said, "Dear fans, let me start by thanking you. Thank you for always being there for the club. Whether it was at a game far away or a tough match at Old Trafford, your support has been unshakable. The atmosphere at Old Trafford has always been electrifying." Man United identify Victor Gyokeres transfer alternative as January interest emerges. Latest Manchester United transfer news and gossip, with Paris Saint-Germain striker Randal Kolo Muani linked with a move to Old Trafford. Manchester United are still being linked with a move for a new striker as the January transfer window fast approaches. Ruben Amorim has officially begun work as United's new head coach, taking charge of training at Carrington on Monday. The 39-year-old will be busy preparing his newly inherited squad for the Premier League clash against Ipswich Town this weekend. Amorim will work with the squad at his disposal for at least the next few weeks, but will soon have the opportunity to add new players to the ranks in the new year. Rumours have been swirling for several months about the potential business that United may conduct in January, and now a fresh piece of speculation has emerged. According to Foosball News, United are showing an interest in signing Paris Saint-Germain striker Randal Kolo Muani. The report claims that the France international is now a target for United ahead of the new year. It's been previously reported United do not have the budget to sanction more permanent deals after a busy summer window saw 5 new signings arrive at Old Trafford. As a result, the Reds are reportedly interested in signing Kolo Muani on a loan deal, but it's uncertain if the striker would want to complete a temporary switch to Old Trafford. Kolo Muani signed for PSG in the summer of 2023 in a deal potentially worth up to €95 million, £79.4 million. It remains to be seen if the League One club would be open to allowing the striker to leave on loan in January. This is not the first time that United have been linked with a striker ahead of the winter window, with Sporting star Victor Gyokeres repeatedly linked with the Reds. Ever since Amorim was confirmed as the club's new head coach, rumours have been swirling that United could look to reunite the duo by bringing the Swedish striker to Old Trafford, though a January move for the 26-year-old is out of the question. Reports have claimed that Gyokeres could leave Sporting next summer for a fee worth around £70 million. The Sweden international has scored 23 goals in 18 appearances so far this season before Amorim's departure. Emmanuel Petit reveals the real reason Man United transfer target has been benched by Chelsea. Emmanuel Petit believes he knows the real reason Christopher Nkunku has been reduced to a bit-part role at Chelsea this season. Much was expected from the France international when he joined the club from RB Leipzig 18 months ago, but injuries and a change of manager have done little to help his cause. New manager Enzo Maresca has preferred to use Nicholas Jackson as his attacking spearhead so far this term, and although Nkunku has scored 10 goals in just 17 appearances, most of those have come in the domestic and European Cup competitions. Cole Palmer's rapid emergence, meanwhile, has meant the 27-year-old has been given little opportunity to impress in his favoured role, and a lack of first-team minutes has seen the former PSG star linked with a January move to Old Trafford. Petit, however, believes Maresca is already thinking longer term and creating room in his squad for Brazilian sensation Estevão, who is set to join the first-team squad next season. Christopher Nkunku isn't being prioritised at Chelsea because of who is coming in to play in that position, Estevão Willian, he told Casino Hawks. This is a player who has broken Neymar's records in Brazil and has so much quality despite only being 17. His agent says that everything is clear with the Chelsea board in terms of plans, and he'll be playing in the number 10 position next season. Nkunku has done well and has also played well for France, but his injuries have held him back, and although Chelsea will be very happy to keep him, he isn't their priority. A host of high-profile Brazilians have represented Chelsea down the years with great success, including the likes of Willian, Ramirez, Oscar, Felipe Luis and, most recently, Thiago Silva, but Petit believes Estevão could end up being the pick of the bunch. He said, "There is no ceiling on Estevão Willian as a player. Chelsea also have to be patient with him. What he has done in Brazil is amazing, but so many players have these promising starts to their careers and after 2 or 3 years it's gone. I've seen him play a few times and he has something very different. He is the type of guy you are happy to pay money to watch. He has everything and can go on to have an incredible career, but things can change so quickly in football." Ruben Amorim drops major hint over Man United plans in first training session. Ruben Amorim has finally got down to work on the training pitch with Manchester United ahead of his first game in charge against Ipswich in the Premier League on Sunday. Manchester United have been given their first taste of their new tactical setup after Ruben Amorim took charge of his first training session. Amorim has now got to work on the training pitches at Carrington after arriving from Sporting Lisbon to succeed Erik ten Hag as head coach. The 39-year-old was without many of his key players, who are still away on international duty, but made up the numbers with academy players on Monday. He arrived at United with a stellar reputation, having turned around a struggling Sporting side to win 2 Portuguese league titles. And Amorim and his staff are now trying to impart his coaching philosophy on the United squad ahead of his first game in charge, away to Ipswich on Sunday. Amorim played a 3-4-3 formation with Sporting and had been expected to introduce the setup to his new players. United chiefs have told Amorim not to expect much of a transfer budget, because they expect him to improve the player he already has, and he will do so by ripping up ten Hag's approach. I know how I am going to play in the beginning because you have to start with a structure that you know, Amorim explained in the press conference after his final sporting match. We don't have a lot of time to train, so I have to show something that I know very well. That approach was evident on the training pitch on Monday, with eagle-eyed United fans taking a hard look at the footage uploaded on social media to find clues. Although many players are missing on international duty, Amorim showed his hand through his setup during a practice match. The players were split up into two teams, with a team appearing to line up in a 3-4-3 shape, with Lenny Yoro, Johnny Evans and Luke Shaw as a back three. In front of them were Anthony, Casemiro, Kobbie Mainoo and Terrell Malaysia, with Amad Diallo, Marcus Rashford and Mason Mount as the three most attacking players. Thanks for watching. See you next time.